Cayenne said, okay.
So does it tell you how fast you're going on those things?
Certain ones do. They have a speedometer. So that's how I knew I was going 20 down right there where that guy's going down. I hit 20. They got something going on the bridge too. I don't know. Had you seen the amphitheater?
No.
It's right over there. I mean, you could see it from the bridge. But yeah, it's just like right there in that park. I haven't seen a show there yet, but...
Interesting. You want your hat?
Yeah, I'll switch it over.
Sure you don't want my butt sitting on your hat?
Alright guys, now Joey is gonna ride the double R.
Scary.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
You know what? I take that back. I have ridden a R1. The R1 had 199 horsepower on a Mustang dyno, all engine. It was kind of ridiculous.
That's what Antoine's bike has, 199. And I actually just rode his the other day, and I rode an R1, and the video that's coming out Saturday is me riding an R1 for the first time. And I prefer mine better. With the quick shifter, you have to have the throttle on, and then you just go through all the gears, no problem. Unless you're going slow, first to second, you really got to mean it when you're shifting. But then auto liver, just let off the throttle and just hit down.
No clutch?
No clutch.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's gonna be so...
Yeah, I know. But as soon as you do get used to it, all about it. Dude, it's fun. It is the best thing. And now I have to go to this where I actually have to shift, so I need to adjust my mirrors.
Yeah, I didn't even touch them.
They were set up for Cayenne, I guess. Or no, Antoine rode it last.
The one thing I hate where my Cena is I always hit it on my shoulder.
Yeah, I was told that if it does that, then move it forward a little bit. Yeah, I gotta get used to her bike.
Yeah, your bike's louder. It sounds good though.
You're gonna hear them backfires. Like, fourth gear is the magic gear. If you're on the interstate and you just like roll on the throttle pretty hard and then just let off, you're gonna hear some backfires. I don't know what it is about fourth gear. It's just every single time.
The neutral is awesome. That's probably the best feature on the bike.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just the electronics on that bike in general, amazing.
So I've got a 2014 V8 Charger.
Yeah, how's that?
It's actually surprisingly quick, but at the same time, like I said, it's 20 square miles of jurisdiction. There's really nowhere, and we're not allowed to go but 5 miles over the speed limit, and then we're not allowed to go above 80.
So it's like, what's the point of having it?
Exactly. I mean, we've got Explorers for the rest of ours. They're phasing out all of our Chargers. Yeah, they're switching us all over to Explorers because they have more storage.
Yeah, this seems like that's happening everywhere.
They're V6 Explorers. Now granted, they're slow. Like, if you go from a Charger to an Explorer, they're so slow. It seems like everybody's ended up enjoying them better. Although we had one of our sergeants go from an Explorer back to a V6 Charger because he liked the slick top, and I was like, you're an idiot. Got a little bit backfire there.
Oh, it does curve to the right. Well, now what?
I actually know where I'm at. We were here the other day.
I don't even know if that's like the best way to go getting back on the interstate, but we just got to hit 40 west.
We could just go this way, screw it, see where it goes.
Okay.
I think we'll end up hitting Nolensville, I think. Nolensville Pike. Then we take Nolensville Pike back out. I could be really wrong though. That's so weird. It's so unnatural.
Wait, this looks familiar. Probably should have taken a left right there.
Oh, we were down here the other day. Oh, that's right. We came down here. This is where Far East is.
Far East? Like the one in Murfreesboro?
I guess it might be the same one.
I don't know. It's right by MTSU, but I used to go there all the time.
Could you get further?
No.
Oh, well, then it might not be the same. Oh, there's a stop sign.
You experiencing the auto blipper?
I was, and it throwing me off.
Cool. Well, where are we gonna go?
God, that's so weird, but I like it.
It's weird, but I like it. Of course, there's a parking lot right there. Could have just went in the parking lot, but we're not doing that.
Whatever I just touched with my foot was very heavy. Kind of seemed like a dead animal.
Well, what do you think? Initial thoughts?
So far, it's nice. I like it.
Of course, I picked the one spot where I don't really have service. Oh, come on. Load. How do I have no service here? Freaking Nashville. Yeah, we're headed east.
Is that good or bad?
That's bad. We gotta go west.
It wants us to make a U-turn.
Okay, we went all this way for no reason.
Yeah, well, oops. When we were looking at the ST. So really what it was is either bought a motorcycle and kept the truck, or I sold the truck and bought a Mustang. And then my wife's like, but no, you're not gonna get a two-door car, because what if we have kids? And I was like, well, that makes sense. So I was like, well, what about an STI?
Hey, it's four-door, that's all that matters.
We also, her lease was up on her car, so we also had to buy her a new car. So we bought 2 new cars within 2 days of each other.
Oh yeah, my taillight does look good. Oh man.
It is pretty sexy, except for, look how small your turn signals are.
Yeah. Do you notice how long it takes for the turn signal to activate?
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Well, do it again. Tell me when you click it.
Clicked it.
It's actually instant for the rear.
It just doesn't show up on the dash.
So that makes me feel a little better.
When I hit it, it's like a second and probably half a second to a second delay.
I think it's just because they're sequential. So it's got to go through the time, and then when it pops up on the dash is for the front blinker. God, her bike is so uncomfortable, man. Mine is so much better than hers. I like my seat better than hers too.
I don't know, I actually gotta say, I think I like her seat better.
Hers?
Yeah. Damn it. The first bike I ever rode with ABS was a BMW, and BMWs back in 2009 were kind of weird, because instead of saying ABS, or the ABS light would be on, it would say no brakes. And I'm like, you dumb Germans. Like, because I hopped on it and I started going, and under 10 miles an hour, ABS doesn't activate. It just flashes no brakes. And I was like, oh, that's scary. Then I realized I had brakes, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Dude, have you ever seen the brakes after you change your tires or anything? Have you ever seen that? Antoine helped me out, and he took the wheels on and off just so we could take them to the shop. The front one was ridiculous. I pulled it all the way down like that. There was nothing. I did that like 3 times, and there was no brakes until it finally started catching. And I tried to get it on camera, but I had already done it.
I pay for my stuff to be work done, motorcycle-wise.
Well, me too.
If one wheel falls off on a car, it's not the end of the world.
Antoine was a motorcycle tech for a long time, so having him as a friend has been great so far, because he's helped me out with a lot. I mean, he's basically done all the mods to my bike so far.
There you go. We shouldn't have rode down so far.
I know. We should have just turned around.
So I worked for Harley Davidson, so it was kind of easy at the time. But I don't know if you ever met, you're a Kawasaki guy, you might have, but before he passed away, Tad owned a shop actually out in Bellevue, towards where Kayan lives. Bad Tad.
That sounds familiar.
If you ever see anybody, they have a green, it's a green like dirt bike symbol, and it's got the number 1 and it says Bad Tad on it. So he passed away, it's probably close to 5 years ago. Maybe it might not be that long ago. I'm sure if you have anybody from Nashville that watches y'all's videos, they'll hear me talking about it, like, yeah, I know him, and they're gonna be like, hey, that information's wrong, because I'm pretty sure that it was in Bellevue.
Oh yeah, people are quick to call you out if you mess anything up.
But anyway, so he used to do all my work on my R6.
All right, which way do we need to be?
We need to go left. I may totally be wrong, but I think we need to go left. So he used to do all my work for me. He had a motorcycle accident. He honestly was a killer rider. What I don't understand, they said it was a single vehicle accident, getting on an on-ramp, either an on-ramp or off-ramp, I can't remember, and nobody else was involved. So he was very, very, very experienced rider. He used to race a lot. I don't believe that it was, I think it was a hit and run personally. Really sucks, because he's a cool guy. Total adrenaline junkie, 100%. Like when he ripped my bike out of the garage and just gunned it and was burning the tire to wear it in down the road, I was like, okay, that's cool. I wouldn't have ever done that. I miss the days back in high school where everybody would go to Wynn's Burgers and Cream out in Franklin.
I don't know that one.
There's another burger place now where it is basically across the street from the movie theater, like you were going up to Power Sports.
Okay, I guess it's not there anymore.
I don't know what happened. I'm sure business just wasn't all that great, but Wynn ended up moving to Mississippi, I think. But we used to do, like when all the Fast and the Furious movies were out and all that stuff, they would do early screenings. The movie theater got in trouble for doing that because they didn't have approval. That was always fun. But we would end up riding out there. Crazy days. How long have you lived in Nashville?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been in Tennessee since 2002, I think. But we lived in Smyrna, then I lived in Murfreesboro for a while. So I never really got around Nashville until I moved to Bellevue, and then it kind of started opening up. So really just, since technically Bellevue is Nashville, really just like 5 years. But then we moved away, we went to Antioch, but I was still like on the border of Nashville. Well, no, I guess it's been longer than that, because I lived in the house for 4 years, and then I lived in that apartment for I think 2 years, so like 6 years now, I think.
We moved to Nashville, I think around 2002 as well, and we lived in Brentwood originally, in an apartment with 4 kids. Yeah, it was horrible. Because I went to public school, and then that's high school, switched over and went to private school. That's where I met Kayan, obviously. So that was interesting.
This is the most ridiculous thing ever. What if we get up there and it was really on the right the entire time? But see, that's what threw us off to begin with, because I was like, oh yeah, we go to the left, but no, it loops around. Is it to the right? Well, at least we know, so we can start working our way over. Really, you might want to just cut this car off.
Oh, he's moving up already. No.
So we're not able to go because you got somebody else blocking the intersection. Cool. This is like the worst intersection I've ever seen.
We went to a baby shower last weekend. This guy shows up and he's holding a 40. I was like, okay, that's cool. Didn't know there was gonna be alcohol here.
Yeah, at a baby shower.
I had to get next to him and realize that he's carrying a gun on his hip. And I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Instead of confronting him, I made sure before I did so was to ask if it was somebody's relative, because I wasn't gonna be rude. So I asked the father of the person who's having the baby. They're like, no, I don't know who that is. So I asked the father and he's like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so's right here. Where are you going?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, here you go. He goes, oh, that's so-and-so's boyfriend. I was like, hey, did you notice that he's got a gun on his hip? And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, look at his hip. I said, it's a 1911. You can't miss that.
Here he comes.
Yeah, this thing backfires like crazy.
Yeah, man.
So anyways, this guy's got 1911 on his hip and an Uncle Mike's holster that's got a strap that goes over the back strap of the gun. Well, whoa, buddy. The back strap has a palm safety on it. So I was like, okay, that, first of all, that's dangerous, because if he's got one in the chamber, that means all it would take is the trigger to be pulled if he doesn't have the slide safety on, which some people are idiots. So I was getting ready to confront him, and the father of the person who's having the baby went up to him and was like, listen, I was like, you need to go put that in the car. We all left our guns home. Even the cop that was here left the gun home. And so he got all, you know, butthurt that somebody told him to go put his gun away. Apparently he was military. And I was like, oh, great. So, of course, the whole time, because I'm a cop, he's staring me down. And so finally I was like, you know, I'm just going to go talk to him and make friends, make nice. And turns out the dude is 100% an idiot.
Just an idiot.
I guess he got in a fight at a bar. Lost, he was an E5. Got all the way demoted down to an E2 or something like that. Those that are watching, if you're military, that could be totally wrong. I'm not all aware of these ranking systems. So either way, so he goes, yeah, I got in a fight and beat the crap out of some dude. And then when he got up, he kneed me in the skull. And I was like, how do you get kneed in the skull if you're standing? That doesn't make any sense. He goes, yeah, I've got a bunch of plates in my face and I'm on light duty right now. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But still, how do you get kneed in the face if you're standing? So my guess is that he started a fight that he couldn't handle, got his stuff pushed in, trying not to cuss. The military found out about it and he got demoted. My brother-in-law is an E6 in the Navy, or he might be just above an E6. They just moved to Virginia. He's going to do LCAT training, which if you don't know what an LCAT is, I suggest you look it up because they're pretty freaking awesome. There's 2 pilots for them. It's a giant hovercraft that carries tanks.
That's awesome.
So he's really excited about it, but the reason why he's changed that is because he was going for officer school. He ended up having stage 3 heart failure. When he went to get his physical, the doctor was like, hey, you've got a murmur, you need to go get checked out. And the cardiologist is like, hey, we're checking you into the hospital, you could die at any moment. He was hoping to get medically retired and just be able to get out of it since he wouldn't be able to do what he wanted to do, which was become an officer. Unfortunately, he thought he was going to be able to still become an officer, but they wouldn't give him an approval because he can get it waived, his physical waived, because his heart's operating normally now. They were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And he signed up for like 8 more years because he was going to be an officer. That's all down the drain. Now he's still going to make decent money doing what he's doing, but he's got 8 more years and he's like, I'm going to go do something fun instead of working my butt off.
That's what my dad did. I'm pretty sure he went to officer school for the Navy and he flew F-14s before they decommissioned him. Yeah, they moved out to Hawaii and he was stationed in Pearl Harbor for a while. And then they were like downsizing the Navy. So he ended up getting out of the Navy, but he couldn't retire. And now he's back in the Naval Reserves. He's trying to get enough in just so he can retire from the Navy, like officially.
That's crazy, but it makes sense. He's a Navy pilot?
Yeah, he was a navigator. He sat in the back. He tried to be a pilot, but you have to have like perfect vision pretty much, and he wore glasses. But since then, he's had the LASIK done. Have you gotten on the bike at all?
A little bit, just then.
Did you downshift first?
Yeah, I had to remember how to do that. I was like, okay, off the gas.
I heard that backfire.
Yep.
Was that fourth gear? Yep. Fourth gear, man. That's what I'm saying.
The bike does sound great with this pipe on it.
Everybody always slows down right here though because it's going uphill. This whole way right here just sucks. People slow down way too much for this exit. Have you been to Kayan's parents' house?
A long time ago. Because I used to take Kayan home quite a bit. There was a point where I think she hit the garage and her parents stopped letting her drive.
Ooh. That's definitely going in the video.
So I would take her home every now and again. Or I guess if her mom needed the car. Damn it, neutral. Yeah, she was backing out, and I think she took the mirror off. So actually, this building right here, no, that's not it.
That building's new.
Okay, so it was the building that was there before. That building must have just been done. Yeah, so this building was his old bike shop.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Dude, I drove by there like all the time.
Yeah, that was Tad's bike shop.
That's why it seems so familiar.
I forget what the name of it was though. Bellevue Cycle.
Bellevue Cycles, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. Oh shit, we're turning. I'll catch you on the flippity apparently.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't hit me.
Alright, I'm at this light, I'm making a U-turn, hang on a second. There's like no places to turn around. This is sketchy as f***. Alright, I'm coming back.
Hello?
Can you hear me? No.
Now that you blew past that turn, I can't remember if I actually had my blinker on, but I think I did.
I was paying more attention to the truck that was in front of you that was turning.
Well, I'm just glad you weren't in a position where you could just like run right into me.
No, I usually don't ride like that.
Yeah, it was like my buddy Darius running into the back of me. I was like, I don't want it to happen again.
On a different bike, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Where's your car?
The white one, and then the blue one. So both of those.
Not really any way to park up here, is there?
No, and we got 6 people living here, so.
Yeah, that's right. And a baby.
Gets a little complicated.
Baby that'll be here soon.
Soon to be, they're working on the room and everything. Let me make sure it's recording. Alright guys, well that was pretty much it. Thanks to Joey for hanging out with me today.
Thanks for letting me ride the bikes.
What did you think about the RR? I gotta ask.
Pretty badass.
Yeah.
The shifting is hard to get, not hard to get, it's easy to get used to, and it's going to be really hard not to get used to.
That's the issue that I have whenever I have to ride hers, but I've been riding hers off and on now, so I'm kind of used to it. But I remember the first time that I rode hers again since I had mine, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like over revving, and I guess that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some cop perspective. Yeah, I guess that's it. We're going to go hang out with Kayan now. There's our room right there.
Sweet. I don't know. I actually don't know if I've ever been in her house.
Well, you will be. All right, see you guys in the next one.
You don't do that.
Yeah, well, I can. It doesn't matter.